Hey, fellow travelers. Hope you're all well and thank you for tuning in. My name is Sandra Rojo and I'm the founder of Journey to Authentic Living, also known as JTAL for short. The purpose of this video is to open a discussion about the topic of genuine needs. Professionally, I'm witnessing with more frequency clients, friends, and even family talk about the difficulty of distinguishing their genuine needs versus wants. I also have a personal experience to share so that you can conceptualize the nuances to genuine needs. I will introduce a 5-stage model called the hierarchy of needs, developed by one of my favorite psychologists, Abraham Maslow. I'll attempt to integrate a slide with an image of Maslow's hierarchy of needs, but if I cannot during my editing of this recording, I'll provide information in the description section of this YouTube video. I will not go into Maslow's theory in depth, but utilizing his hierarchy of needs to demonstrate some of my professional observations when working with people and helping them identify their genuine needs. I also want to disclose that the type of people I'm talking about here do not have long-term personality disorders, addictive behaviors, and or other dysfunctional pathologies. Okay, let me begin by saying that living authentically is understanding or recognizing the necessity of learning to distinguish between wants and needs. Many people have sometimes confused these two words and oftentimes use the words wants and needs interchangeably. I'm sure we've all been guilty of doing this. My focus is not to give a lengthy description between wants and genuine needs, but rather to discuss professional insights, observations, and experiences with you that can help identify and distinguish what genuine needs are and how our unmet needs manifest. To watch out for signposts along our journey to living a meaningful and fulfilling life. The succinct definition of a want is defined as having a strong desire for something, and a need is something you cannot do without, even if temporarily. Initially, the topic of genuine needs versus wants seemed like a simple one, but when listening to my friends, clients, and even family, my observations became clear that they were unaware of their genuine needs, or just didn't know how to articulate what they were trying to describe as a genuine need versus a want until examining closer. Maslow proposed that healthy human beings have a certain number of needs. Those needs by nature are basic, such as physiological needs, to social needs and beyond. For the purpose of my discussion with you, I will be focusing on the first 4 levels of the hierarchy of needs and be going through that and pairing them for you. According to Maslow, a person does not feel anything if their genuine needs are met. For example, if I have food, shelter, and clothing, I do not experience anxiety about not having those needs met. But if not having food, shelter, and clothing are not met, I will inevitably experience anxiety. The first 4 stages of the hierarchy are interpreted from the bottom to the top. The first 2 needs are defined as basic needs, and I'm going to be pairing them as I said that earlier. The first basic need are physiological needs, and they include food, water, sex, clothing, breathing. The second basic need is defined as safety needs, and they include the security or safety of your body. So, for example, not living in abuse or neglect, either child or elderly or spousal abuse, and so forth. Freedom from fear, financial security, resources, health, shelter, and even employment. The following pair of needs are described as psychological needs, and the first Maslow described as belonging. These include family, friendship, love, intimacy, trust, connection with others, recognition, acceptance, receiving and giving. So some form of reciprocity in a relationship. If not, that relationship is imbalanced and unhealthy. Other belonging needs are affection, being part of a group, or at least having a good support system. We know that loneliness and isolation are huge components to early death, so we include those as well. The second of these psychological needs are esteem needs, and they include achievement, mastery, status, independence, self-respect, and respect from other people. As I was mentioning, many people I know and work with struggle with recognizing their genuine needs, and when examining closer, they seem to categorize their genuine needs on a quote-unquote want list, because perhaps for many years they have judged themselves harshly or have been conditioned to just toughen up or get over their needs to give to others without a healthy balance of both giving and receiving. Some people I know have also expressed their genuine needs as sinful, wrong, weak. They somehow were caught in a belief pattern that many of their psychological and emotional needs were merely desires rather than genuine needs. You can hear as I say this that there is a flavor of disempowerment of the individual. And by the way, there is no shame in this. We are all here learning about ourselves. And we learn a lot about ourselves through other people, through our relationships. Furthermore, the disempowered self seems to unconsciously rebel long-term by adopting both physiological and psychological unhealthiness, such as unhealthy thinking or negative habits, such as overeating, restless sleep, anger, inertia, feelings of depression or discouragement, and so forth. We also see chronic infections such as yeast in the body, constant colds or influenza, not being able to shed weight, a loss of joie de vivre or zeal for life. And then other psychological disorders begin to arise. Compromising genuine needs seems to be really big for a lot of my clients and just people that I know in general who have been caregivers for a long time or have had a sense of responsibility throughout their life for whatever reason, seem to compromise their genuine needs in order to not disturb others or disrupt whatever flow they think is working. But the irony is that it's not working anymore, right? So we have some negative effects. There are sort of these signposts, wake-up calls. These are just a few physiological and somatic disturbances. I also want to make it clear that I'm not saying at 100% certain physiological or psychological sickness or disorders are due to unmet needs, but I am insinuating that many sicknesses are correlated. The immune system is a lot more complicated than maybe you don't know about or many would not like to admit. And we cannot assume that our psychology is not connected to our physical bodies. So it's something worth examining. I'll share now a personal experience that has been part of my journey to authentic living. One of my genuine needs is spending time alone. Even as a child, I enjoyed time alone, and I had a very good upbringing, and my parents respected my time alone and actually helped me cultivate and nurture being okay with it, normalizing it. There was a period, however, when I was unaware of needing alone time because I had always been able to manage it, right? Until I moved back to the United States after living abroad for many years, as an adult, of course. The demands and lifestyle seemed to pull me in all directions. I was trying to insert myself back into a society I had not lived in for many years. And it was also a culture shock for me. my body began to resent all the demands and responsibility, all of which I was choosing, by the way. Some of them were sort of not very conscious, but I was choosing them. Additionally, I was saying yes to everyone when I would have benefited from prioritizing my life and the people in my life. My body felt unwell when I didn't honor it, didn't especially honor the time to be alone. I also began to eat a lot of foods that I had allergy towards. They weren't necessarily junk food, but I just wasn't really paying attention and just eating. And I was invited to dinner a lot, and so would be socializing again because I was trying to insert myself back into a society and meet different people and so forth and network. I noticed that my sleep became restless as well. I felt anxious and dissatisfied and discouraged, yet I couldn't identify it with the genuine need I had, which was to spend time alone. So here we are. I no longer live that life of not being so conscious of myself. That was many years ago. And thank God that time period was maybe a 2 or 3 year period at the very most. So I need alone time to recharge and rejuvenate so that I can thrive in my work and live well with others and live well with myself. The relationship with myself is the most important, because if I'm okay with me, I'm well with others and the world around me. To the best of my ability, I continue to choose my activities well and prioritize when I can. I realize that sometimes life can be unpredictable, as it is for everyone. And in that case, I leave myself room to always spend time alone so that I can replenish my energy. When we understand and accept our genuine needs and begin to honor them, something else takes shape that is wonderful, and it's the establishment of healthy boundaries with other people. So I would like to invite all of you to contemplate about your genuine needs. Where have you been compromising your needs, or with whom have you been compromising? Because if you think learning to toughen up, ignore, placate, disregard, and disrespect your genuine needs, you'll find yourself really, truly compromised in all ways. A suggestion would be to make out a list and play around with your genuine needs versus wants. How you distinguish needs versus wants is a genuine need has a long-term physical effect, either in negative or positive, as in the example that I gave of my personal experience, where for a big chunk of my time, or my life that is, I had the alone time as a genuine need that was always met until otherwise, and then I had to get back on track. Learn to ask people to help you meet your needs, especially with the people that we live with or that we socialize more, that we have intimacy with, right? Where we can share our genuine needs with. They can help us. You may need more time to rest. You may need more affection. You may need to communicate how it's important to exercise, whether it's every day or several times a week. That is a genuine need for some people. Some people actually need to feel the movement of their body, whether it's going out for a walk or a hike. It doesn't have to be, hours a day, but that is a genuine need. It's not just one to lose weight or what have you. I mean, I'm personally one of those people who has to move her body. That's it. That's actually another genuine need that I have. You may want to let people know that you have to eat at certain times of the day or graze during the day, because if you don't, you might have low blood sugar or you get cranky. Maybe you can't be overstimulated with too much information or too many activities during the day. You may need to have periodic enriching philosophical conversations. So you can see that I've blended physiological needs with psychological needs. If we fail to properly address our genuine needs, the human body is such that it will then increase our wants. And that's where it can get a little sticky and confusing. Again, with my example, I was eating a lot of foods that would cause me allergies. And I wasn't really paying attention to that, but I did feel the need to increase that. Maybe my alcohol intake was a little bit more. I'd have one more glass of wine on the weekend because I thought that that would help me get rest, for example, right? So as we can see here, that some of these wants are not, they're just sort of fluid. I wasn't paying attention to that genuine need. I welcome any comments or opinions and experiences, all of it in the section below. If you want to send me an email and keep your name private, but are willing to share your experience, I would love to edit that and then put it into the YouTube section. You know, we're all learning from each other, and we all want to really be on the path of authentic living in our own way and discovering ourselves and what our genuine needs are part of that journey. So for now, be well, be safe, be blessed.